Good morning and welcome to another episode of All In with Nate. This week, the Atlanta Falcons have came back home finally, and they'll be taking on the Washington football team at home. The Falcons are coming off of a nail-biter 17-14 victory up in New York as Younghoe kicked the field goal to win the football game. Matt Ryan threw for 2 touchdown passes, and the defense had one of their best showings of the year as the Falcons will look to carry this momentum at home before heading to London to play the New York Jets. On the flip side, the Washington football team comes in 1-2 as well, coming off of a bad loss at Buffalo, 43-21 loss up in Buffalo. They're looking to get off the slide. And welcoming to the show again is Devon Brown. As you know, he's a Washington football fan. We're going to get on here. We're going to talk about both of our teams' keys to victories, the fantasy matchups, the matchups in the game, our predictions, and much more as we get ready to see which one of these teams can get to 500 to start the month of October. And here we are with another episode of All In with Nate. What's going on, Facebook? Welcome back to another episode of All In with Nate. I got my boy back finally. What's up, Devon? He's back on the show.
What's up, All In With Nate family? It's your boy Devon again. You know what I'm saying? Repping the not Washington team, but the old Redskins jersey, Sean Taylor, I don't know if y'all can see that. Hold on, let me fix myself. Sean Taylor 21 Pro Bowl jersey, so I gotta represent.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's up, Mike? He said, let's go. What's going on? Welcome back to the show.
What's up, Michael?
All right, y'all. As we know, we got the 1-2 Falcons and the 1-2 Washington football team playing today. The Falcons are finally back at home. We've been on the road the last 2 weeks. Thank God they're back at home. We got to redeem ourselves from that disaster up in Philadelphia. The game is Philadelphia. Mike said, what's up, Devon?
What's up, man? What's up, Michael? Glad to be back on the show with you, man.
Okay, all right. So, game kickoff at 1 o'clock on Fox. Devon, how you feeling about today?
The last week's this
Give us a second. I think he has some technical difficulties. He might be having some technical difficulties at the moment. Give us 1 second.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There you go.
All right.
Before you go, mom checking in for you. Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, after that horrendous show that we had last week, I'm looking for a win today, obviously. I know y'all are looking for a win as well, but like I said, it's just about today is just about who wants it more. Like, and at least for our side, it's just making smart decisions, playing smarter, not harder. Because that's what's been killing us these past few weeks.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I feel it 100%. I feel the same way. I don't know what we're going to get into today because, to be honest with you, yes, we won last week, but it was not an impressive win. The defense played well. As far as the offense, Matt's still no longer the same guy. He's no longer the same quarterback that could lead us to wins like that, but our defense kept us in the game long enough against a bad New York Giants team who they're probably going to be number one pick in the draft. I'm going to go ahead and get that out of the way. They're probably going to be number one pick in the draft. Maybe, I think the Jets still got him. I think the Jets probably still got him.
That's probably going to just because the Jets need a lot of pieces on that team still. So in order for them to even give Zach Wilson a chance to compete in this league, they need some more pieces.
Okay.
The Giants, huh?
He said Android phone. No, he is strictly on iPhone.
It's iPhone. It's not even. Yeah, I'm just on my computer right now. So if it looks a little blurry, that's probably why. But not no Android. But yeah, like that's the common denominator that factors into both of our teams today is that we both got our wins over the Giants. In which that can say something about, even though both our teams are right now not playing as well as they should be, the Giants are playing worse. So that's just, as far as for me, that's something to be good or feel happy about as the Giants are in our division. So, and both games they were within 3 points. That's another thing too.
That is true. The Giants pulled the Falcons moment in the game against you guys. That's something we're supposed to do. They topped us in that game.
At home too.
Yes, they did. Okay. I'm gonna roll on a couple of things first to start off with. I'm gonna go with my keys to getting the game against y'all today.
Okay.
All right. So keys to beating Washington today for Atlanta. This is number 3 on the list, but I'm about to go to number 1. This is number 1 on my list. I don't care if it's number 3 on here. Protect Matt Ryan. I know Devon is going to disagree because of the Washington football struggles with sacks right now. However, if you have a defensive line, this is the perfect team to play. As the Philadelphia Eagles, they had a field day week 1 here in Atlanta. And Washington has a better defensive line than Philadelphia. So if Matt Ryan does not get protected, it's going to be a long day. And you're going to see me on here depressed at 4:30, 5 o'clock this afternoon. But that's my first thing I'm getting off about Atlanta. Okay, I'm gonna go in different order. Get in the end zone. Gotta get in the end zone against this defense. You don't get in the end zone, we don't win this football game. We actually did decent last week against the Giants. Even though the Giants dropped 2 interceptions on that game, tie drive. But I'm gonna leave that alone. But again, we got to be able to score touchdowns in this game. That's one of the biggest things winning this game. Right here, I'm going back up to number 1. Devon, we've been struggling with this right here all year long. Getting Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley involved. I don't know what Arthur Smith sees when he steps onto that field, but a lot of times that man is not getting involved in the game. Kyle Pitts, you don't draft a guy everybody that's tuned in, remember the rant I went in April when me and Devon came in here and did this draft show. Again, don't take a guy number 4 if you're not going to give him the ball. And you're an offensive-minded head coach. He's not getting the ball at all. In the red zone, we're giving targets to freaking Lee Smith. Lee Smith scored a touchdown over Kyle Pitts last week. That's embarrassing. I'm sorry. I don't care if it was a beautiful play call. That's embarrassing. And Calvin Ridley, this is the first time I'm calling him out this season. Stop being scared of contact. Calvin Ridley is scared of contact right now. Don't get me wrong. Maybe it's different from being a wide receiver 1. But Calvin really got to get the ball. He got to be able to complete the ball in this game. Because there's several times, there was a drive. I wish I had the video to show it. He had a 3rd down and 3. This man ran out of bounds. Now, to mention that guy in Tennessee that's unfortunately hurt, he would have got the first down. I'm just going to be honest with you guys. This guy here is scared of contact. And he got to stop.
He's not ready for that wide receiver 1 role. I think it was too early.
I agree. I think he's not ready either. And I also think we hurt ourselves because we didn't go get another wide receiver once we knew we were going to get rid of Julio. So that was one of my biggest things for us. Let me go to these comments real quick. Mike Thomas said this game could be a confidence builder for the Washington front 7. That defense is too talented not to get it together. Thank you. That's the way I feel.
I agree with you, but it's all about the play calling. Like last week, out of all things that Jack Del Rio could do, he had Chase Young go into coverage. Chase Young is not a coverage backer. He is a down and out, getting to the quarterback, outside linebacker, or a DN. I'm sorry. He's a DN that's going to get to the quarterback. Don't drop him in coverage. That's not his play style. We're not playing this defense to their play style. One, we're playing too much zone. We're a man defense. We're playing way too much zone. So that's why I was going to touch on what you said about getting Kyle Pitts and Calvin Ridley involved. We're going to have a field day today because, 1, we can't cover in zone. 2, our coverage, our linebackers, they suck in coverage. John Bassett, Cole Holcomb, they are struggling right now in coverage. So I feel like Kyle Pitts, he's going to get involved today. He's probably going to have a field day. I say he'll have close to over 100 yards if they get him the ball.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. Let's see the next comment. What's up, John? He said Chase Young has to be the focus for the Falcons offense. He must be stopped at all costs. If he will wreak havoc all day long. Let me go ahead and put it to you like this. If I'm Jack Del Rio, I'm matching him up with Jalen Mayfield out of University of Michigan or either Caleb McGrary. If he's on that right side or on that left guard, it's going to be a long day in Atlanta because that guy's going to get off on us. I don't know if you got a chance to see those two, that lovely offensive line here, but they suck. They great.
I would say not necessarily focus on Chase Young, but focus on the other side and focus on Montez Sweat. Because Montez Sweat right now is honestly the better defender. Just off these 3 games, he's honestly the better player coming off the edge than Chase Young. Honestly, that whole offensive line, the whole defensive line, they're not playing smart. They're playing selfish. They're taking themselves out to play like for instance, this is just referencing Marcus Spears' take on ESPN a couple days ago. They're playing selfish. I watched the clip. You can see it, clear as day. Chase Young and Montez Sweat, they're trying to go more to the outside of the tackles rather than taking the tackles outside and cutting it back inside so they can get to the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? And when you take yourselves to the outside too much and you're going behind the quarterback to try and make a play, that gives all that space either for them to scramble out, which I know you said Matt Ryan, he's not a mobile quarterback, he's going to stay in the pocket. But today might be the day that if Matt Ryan gets some space, he might take off. He might not get but 2-3 yards, but he's going to take off. And that's going to hurt us because every yard counts. You know what I'm saying? We can't let ourselves get beat off the line of scrimmage. We can't let ourselves get beat.
Hey, I understand that. Let's see. Malik Brown said he said just what I was ranting about. Tell Calvin to run straight and not backwards. He does that often. He'll catch the ball and try to go back because of his speed. Sir, this is not college football. This is not Alabama. This is not the high school you went to, not even the little leagues that you played with. This is the NFL. Run forward. If not, don't be in the league.
Exactly. I mean, we'll take him over here.
Deidre, what's up, cousin? She said, "Hey, people, rise up." But
I feel like honestly, I feel like it's going to be a good game. Like I said, we're both evenly matched. It's going to be a good game for both sides. It's just things gotta. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying it. Today's theme of the game: who wants it more? That's today's theme of the game.
I like it.
Just to put some stats out there. Y'all are averaging 16 points a game. How do I feel about Antonio Gibson playing? How do I feel Antonio Gibson playing? Do you think he take it to us? Honestly, Antonio Gibson outside of McLaurin is probably our best player right now. Like I said, I've just off these 3 games, every game has been positive. He's getting better. And this is just off of purely coming from being a receiver, converting to a running back. He's done a lot more in just this second year than than he did starting off last year. Like that, we had that beautiful screenplay last week. He took it all the way to the end zone. That was a beautiful play by Gibson. He's just getting better every week. I think that with today, he will have a pretty decent day. He may reach over that 100-yard mark. Saying that the Falcons are giving up just about 118 yards on offense rushing to running backs alone the last 3 games, and that's on average. So I think that we get Antonio Gibson involved early. I think that he'll do some damage for y'all or for us today. Sorry.
You got another solid question. Mike Thomas said, "I know the Devon will touch on the return of Curtis Samuel."
Yeah, I'm gonna get on that. Yes.
Side note. He's in all of my lineups today, FanDuel lineups, DraftKings lineups. He's in every lineup because if AJ Terrell is here today, he's going to have a day. But I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about him.
No, because AJ, that's the thing. That was actually one of my key matchups. It was more McLaurin or AJ Terrell because AJ Terrell is going to be covering the number 1 receiver more than likely. If I'm wrong, correct me. But AJ Terrell is y'all's best corner. He's going to be covering our best receiver, which at the moment is McLaurin. I don't see Curtis Samuel getting too many reps, but he will be involved in the game, only because he is still dealing with that injury, so we don't want to tweak it too much in his first return back. So I would see more, still Cam Sims, Diami Brown, still that kind of action going in. But I see Curtis Samuel more as a rotational player, at least for today. But I will say he is definitely a threat coming into this offense now because it gives McLaurin some needed space. It gives Logan Thomas some needed space because those are our big 2 receiving factors right there is McLaurin and Logan Thomas that people are going to try and box up. But with Samuel coming in, it gives us another dimension on that offense that'll definitely help us in the end, especially in the deep game. Maybe we'll be able to air it out today instead of doing check downs every play. But yeah, Curtis Samuel definitely. I'm looking forward to see what he can do for our offense.
Okay. See, Jordan from Facebook said, "We Falcons, we do. We got if at worst, if we don't win this game, I'll tell you, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on record. If we lose to the Jets next week, just throw the whole season away. Trade everybody.
Y'all ain't that bad. They're not gonna be the Jets. The Jets, that's a whole different kind of bad, but it's like
He said a whole different kind of bad.
Yeah, it's a whole different kind of bad what they got going over there. But a lot of and speaking on the Jets, it's a little side note. A lot of people are saying that Zach Wilson is a bust already. I'm gonna just put this out there. Peyton Manning had a record of interceptions in his rookie season, and look to where he lasted 18 to 20 years in the league and set records. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying he's a bust. I'm not saying he's not a bust. I'm gonna just say Peyton Manning had a record for interceptions in his first season. That's all I'm gonna say.
You're right, though. You are absolutely right about that, and that's one of the things that I'm intrigued to see what next week when we go, and they're in London. So I just want to see what they're gonna look like next week against us.
Our game is in London. That would have been nice to see or nice to talk about.
See, this time next week we'll be on TV right now. So
oh yeah. So you gotta be up early. Do your
like I'm gonna have to do it at 7:00. I'm gonna have to do everything early in the morning. It's gonna be interesting.
The game started at what 9:30?
Yeah, 9:30.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tobias, what's going on, bro? He says Zach Wilson's doing better than Trevor. Don't get me started on Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. He's on the Jags. Like I said, they're both on bad teams. There's not really much you can do about it. And plus, it's Urban Meyer's first year as a coach. So, at least for Trevor Wilson's sake, I wouldn't necessarily – I mean, not Trevor Wilson. Trevor Lawrence's sake, I wouldn't necessarily call him a bust just yet, just because, like I said, it's Urban Meyer's first year as a coach. They both ran sort of different style offenses, but, they need some more pieces in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had – and plus, they lost their running back for the season, their rookie running back for the season, which will add more a more versatile –
yeah.
What am I trying to say? It would add more versatility.
Yeah, they add more versatility. Yeah.
As far as Zach Wilson's concerned, he's playing with another rookie head coach, a more defensive-minded head coach. So, I mean, like I said, both players are kind of in a bad situation. They're on not necessarily good teams. So you got to give them time. I feel like they'll come into their own the second season. Justin Fields is a whole other different story. Nagy's in the same position right now as Adam Gase. So the Jets is the worst place QB like Zach Wilson could have went to. Honestly, I believe in that because just look at what Sam Darnold has done. Sam Darnold was terrible with the Jets. Mind you, he did have Adam Gase as head coach, so that's that. But you go from the Jets to the Panthers. You already have a young and surprisingly good, well, not surprisingly good, but a young and really good defense because they were already getting there last year. It just didn't come together on offense. But you go to the Panthers, you're 3-0. Mind you, they have played some pretty bad team. See some good things. Taylor Heineke's got to make some plays with funny legs. That's my question. I'm going to get to that right after I finish my thought. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I don't think that we should really give these rookie quarterbacks any flack just yet. Mind you, it's only 4 games this season. Let's see how they do after their bye weeks. Let's see how they do after the middle of the season before we actually declare they're a bust or not. Like I said, with Justin Fields, he was put in a really bad situation last week. Everybody was calling for the coach's head for doing that. But if he does good against the team they're playing this week or today, we just can't hang it up on him yet. But the thing about Taylor Heinicke, yes, Taylor Heinicke is a good quarterback. At least, I'm not gonna say good. He's a decent quarterback for us. He's getting the job done better than what Fitzpatrick, in my opinion, would have done. He's able to move the ball both with his arms and legs, which is good for us because in the past we haven't really had our best chances with mobile quarterbacks. When you look at RG3, that was more on the coaches than the player because if we came in with the same approach that the Ravens did with Lamar, we would have successful mobile quarterbacks. Like they let Lamar, do his thing, use his legs when he needs to. He can pass the ball when he needs to. With us, we messed up with RG3 because we were one. If RG3 knew how to slide, that's the main thing. If RG3 knew how to slide correctly, he would probably still be in this league either as a backup or, and still effective. I'm not going to say with us because, of the way the coaching was back then, but he would still be somewhere relevant in the league today. That's all I'm going to say. But
I agree with your point because his rookie season, you probably remember this play. We came up there, we were undefeated, and he got injured on a Sean Weatherspoon hit early in his career up there. And then, of course, he had that injury in the playoff game against the Seahawks. So
he had a concussion against y'all. I remember that.
Yeah. So, and I was a big RG3 guy too. On the side, let me go to the comments. Yamil Sanchez, how you doing? She said, I'm from Colombia and I will be in the state to support the Falcons. There we go. We got some support, some international support. I love it. And John, oh man, the greatest comment ever. I've never seen a Washington football team fan so knowledgeable. This guy's awesome. Keep it up. He's the GOAT.
I appreciate it, man. Look, this is my love, my passion. I've been a fan since I came out the womb. So, like anything that's Washington related, I'm gonna be on it. And I keep up with it all the time. Keep up watching stats, keep up watching team videos, team interviews, stuff like that. Just knowing about the game in general and being able to talk about it that's just a major passion of mine. So if I can make it a career out of it, then I definitely would like to make it a career out of it.
Now, when you make it a career out of it.
Oh, yeah. The key word win. Yeah.
So I want you to hit on your key matchups that you have for this game.
Key matchups. So one, these are both personal and ones I got off from the source. My key matchups today. First key matchup is Chase Young versus y'all offensive line, or just in general our front seven against your front seven. We had to get to the quarterback. I know you said Matt Ryan they gotta protect Matt Ryan, but like you said, it's gonna be reversed. The defense has to get to the quarterback. We have struggled getting to the quarterback in every single game that we played. Mind you, we have played some good offensive lines. We have played it. The Chargers do have a good offensive line. We did get to Daniel Jones week 2. They don't have the best offensive line. The Bills, they have a decent offensive line, so it was hard getting to Josh Allen. Also knowing the fact that he is a mobile quarterback. But this week, Falcons offensive line is not so good. I'm not going to say they're on par with the Giants, but honestly, if you think about it, look, the Falcons and the Giants are like neck and neck. But I think the Falcons, honestly, they have a better chance just because the Giants are facing injuries with our line right now. And our defensive line is healthy. There's no reason why we should not be getting to the quarterback. We were arguably the top 5 defense in the league last year just off of our front seven alone. And the fact that we're coming into this week with less than 5 sacks on the record, that's terrible. You know what I'm saying? We can't win games if we can't even get to the quarterback. One, we can't give our secondary time to cover if we can't even put pressure on the quarterback. It's just basically like playing 7-on-7 football. You can't.
You got two comments behind that. It says offensive line protection should be the top priority in order for the Falcons to win this game, especially in the passing game. That is so true. Like that's a good point. And Tavad said, Nate, do you trust the Falcons offensive line against Washington front seven? No. I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to go deep into that. I'm going to tell you no. I do not trust them against that front seven because actually, to be honest with you guys, the Giants got after Matt Ryan last week. And to be honest with you, let me put this out here. Matt Ryan had over 230 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, but the Giants had 4 drop interceptions. Logan Ryan dropped 2, Adoree dropped 1, and I forgot who else dropped another one. But they put some pressure on him. And by the way, as I mentioned, this Washington offensive line, Pro Football Focus, and Devon, I'm sure you understand this very well. Out of a score of 100, the Falcons graded a lovely 1.4 week 1 against Philadelphia. So I am very, very nervous about dealing with Washington's defensive line today.
honestly, if Chase Young and Montez Sweat, if they cannot, like I said earlier, if they don't focus on going outside the tackles and more like attacking in, if we can attack inwards, then yes, I think that y'all will be in some trouble. But if we continue to play selfish, if nothing happens, nothing changes, we're playing the same way that we had, y'all gonna have a field day on us. Y'all gonna pass the ball on us all day. Matt Ryan will have 300 yards and 2-3 touchdowns. I promise you.
Okay, let's see. John said, which offensive line is worse, the Falcons or the Bears? I believe they're tied.
And now the Bears got y'all beat. Bears got y'all beat.
Bears is the worst offensive line in history.
If you ever allow 9 sacks in the game, that automatically puts you dead last. Honestly, if you ever in your life, the whole offensive line just get the pink slip, everybody go home. Everybody go into real estate at that point. Yeah, if you ever get 9 sacks to your quarterback.
Oh man! Before you go back to key matchups, what should be the Falcons and Washington draft party? I'm gonna go ahead and get the Falcons out the way. Quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end, left tackle, left guard. Need I go on? We need to rebuild this thing. I keep telling you guys, I'm gonna say this every single week. Blow it up. Blow it up.
I honestly think if y'all do end up being in the top 10, y'all should definitely go after a quarterback. Only because, like you said, y'all didn't get one this year. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks coming into this draft next year or this upcoming season. So I think that y'all should definitely be looking to groom a quarterback for the future, especially if Matt Ryan's going to play next year. At least just have a quarterback in there, to sit behind, and he can come in the following year and do his thing. For us, top priority, if we don't get a quarterback in free agency, we don't go after Aaron Rodgers. If we don't go after Aaron Rodgers in free agency, definitely need to get a quarterback in the drafts. Outside of that, defensively, our top need on defense will probably be outside linebackers. John Bostic is getting up there in age. He's already 30 years old. Sucks at covering. We already got our front set. Yeah, it's just, it is what it is. Like Cole Holcomb, he's converting from middle linebacker to an outside linebacker. So he's good when it comes inside the box, but outside the box he can't cover. He's still getting used to covering as well. So I think that we need to go get that right outside linebacker, or just the outside linebacker in general. There's going to be some coming into this draft that's pretty good. We need a coverage linebacker. That's what we need mostly. We got John Davis out of Kentucky. He's slowly coming in. He's slowly coming into his own in this league. He's made some good plays for us so far, but he's not there just yet. I'm not going to say he's like the top linebacker that we have right now just yet, but I would say by the end of the season, if he does, progress like he should be a top linebacker for us by the end of the season.
Mike said these quarterbacks and colleges aren't looking too good this year. We're bad to go to the Oregon. I would love to have him. I want a pass rusher. I want to know what a pass rush is like. We haven't had a pass rush since the Mike Vick days. Correct me if I'm wrong, Falcon fans that are on here. We haven't had a pass rush since that 2004 season when we went to the playoffs and lost to the Eagles. That's the last time I remember a pass rush of any sort, and I do not count 2017 because we were just overall defense. Let's see, Ontario Moore said the Falcons should have blew it up at the Super Bowl loss. The organization still living in 2016 and needs to face the reality of that team being non-existent. I totally agree. We should have blew it up last year, but they are still in some. When they came out and said that we are ready to win now, I bust out laughing because I'm like, what are you watching? What are we watching? Us fans are watching something different than the organization is watching. Because what I'm watching is a bad football team. In their mind, I think they're thinking of, well, we was in all those games to win last year. I don't care nothing about that. We won a lot of games last year.
I will say this though, y'all. To predict the win, I'm not sure if that's for. I hope we predict the win, but on both sides, I would hope we predict
that works. Go ahead.
Yeah, that works, honestly. Y'all, the NFC South, y'all have been in the Super Bowl the past 10 years. Like every team has been in the Super Bowl in the past 10 years. If you think about it. Or I take that back, 12 years. The Saints was in there 2009, and then I believe the Panthers were next, and then
we went the year after them.
Yeah. So I mean the Bucks last year. So, I mean, y'all are okay. It's just everybody has their down year. Y'all look like y'all are on the rebuild for another 2-3 years. We've been on the rebuild since I've been born. So I mean, and I'm 23 years old. So you can see how long that's been. Yeah, but my other keys to victory, which I've discussed before, the linebackers have to cover Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is an athletic tight end. We've definitely had our struggles against covering tight ends. Jared Cook first week at a field day against us. Dawson Knox wasn't really too active in the game last week. Week 2, they didn't have Evan Ingram. If they did have Evan Ingram, that game probably would have been a lot different, honestly. But we have to have a good coverage day, especially against them wide receivers as well. Another key matchup: McLaurin or Curtis Samuel, whoever is on AJ Terrell, or just our wide receivers versus our secondary. We have to get open. We have to give Heineke time to get the ball down the field. We have to get our receivers open. McLaurin, he can make routes happen for himself, but it's the other receivers like Adam Humphries is a good slot receiver. He can create some space if he needs to. Same thing with Curtis Samuel with the speed. Cam Sims he's that dark horse for us. He's either good or he's bad. Like you can't really get both. We don't want both. We don't want bad Cam Sims, but we don't need a bad Cam Sims today. We need a win. So Cam Sims, I need you to come out.
Get your trash talk off, Cowboys fan.
Oh yeah. Well, Cowboys, I would say y'all starting off the season good. Let's see how y'all do against the Panthers today. If the Panthers beat y'all, then we know that y'all's first game is a fluke. But and the Panthers might actually be for real. Last question for me, J.D. McKissick. I think he does. I think in order to get our victory in today, we need to have a big day on the ground running with Antonio Gibson, and J.D. McKissick needs to get the ball out the backfield. I would like to see Gibson get the ball out the backfield as well, but I think J.D. McKissick, if he would have a big passing game today. And also, I really want to see Jared Patterson get involved. He had a really big preseason. Hasn't been in the game much for Washington going into week 4 now. I'd like to see him get involved, see what he can do in the running game, which goes to my next point: Antonio Gibson versus the Atlanta defense, defensive line in particular. How is he going to manage getting get into that second, third level of y'all's defense? Is he going to have or how many yards per carry is he going to get? I would love to see at least 3 to 4 yards of carry, just so we can have. I mean, I know that's kind of like unrealistic, but 3 to 4 yards. Well, I mean, yeah, for y'all, no, but against other defensive lines out there and other linebacking cores out there, 3 to 4 yards of carry is kind of reaching it before running back like Gibson, who has positive yards on almost every single snap. We need that out of him today. We need a 100-yard game. We honestly just have to give him the ball more. Sorry, that was my dry. My next thing is coaching and play calling. I didn't like our play calling last week. Why are we passing the ball on first down and then running on second and third? What sense does that make? I think we need to, in order to control the line of scrimmage, ball control, we need to run the ball versus second down and then pass on third if needed be. Or we run on first. If we don't get the yards we need, then we pass on second, get a little closer, then, just alternate. We can't pass on first down because then if we don't get the completion, then we're still stuck on a second and long and third and long, and we haven't been able to convert. My bad.
You good? You good? We're going to some of the comments real quick. Hold on. I want to first. Will the Falcons get a Matthew Stafford deal for Matt Ryan? If they do trade him. If not, what trade is worth it? In 2019, yes. No. In 2021, never.
The Rams are not letting go of Matthew Stafford, bro.
Matt Ryan is out of the same level of Stafford. The Falcons be lucky to get
Matthew Stafford is playing on a whole different level. Not saying that we haven't seen this before, but sorry again. This is a team that the Rams are dangerous this year. The Rams are going to make some noise. They will be in the playoffs. And I honestly got them going to the Super Bowl this year.
Dark horse, that's my dark horse Super Bowl team.
If they can keep up this level of play that they're going on, they can definitely, especially because we just seen them knock off the Bucs, and the Bucs looks to be a repeat team going into this year. I think the Rams definitely have a chance to make a case for themselves. I think the Rams, the Packers are coming into their own again. That first game, honestly, was just a fluke, in my opinion.
They point shade the first game.
Yeah, we're not gonna mention that game, man. Jameis Winston, a god out there. Speaking of, we have next week here at home. But
I need interception. I need y'all to go crazy in the interception category on them.
Yeah. Most definitely. That's what I'm saying. Like, our cornerbacks against Josh receivers, that's another matchup need. Kendall Fuller has been playing his best football like last year. Last year he was locked down corner, in my opinion. William Jackson, who's known to be a lockdown corner, I don't know what's going on with him. He's only had one interception so far, which, that's better than all of our other receivers. Red zone defense has been a plus for us. It's probably been the best thing that we can do. Benjamin St. Juice, he's not going to be playing today, so and he's honestly been our best coverage corner so far, especially in the red zone. He's broken up a lot of passes in that red zone. He's broken up a lot of touchdowns that could have been, so that's a bright spot, at least for my third-round pick. Oh yeah, diehard fan. Like, I'm not. Like, I know a whole bunch of Washington fans that said, "Oh yeah, I'm a Ravens fan now because they're doing good." I mean, we're in the same area, so switch to the other side. It is what it is. But I'm gonna stick with my team too, because honestly, like, we're only a few pieces away from actually being contenders, Super Bowl contenders. So once we get there, I want everybody that's switched up on us. I want them to keep that same energy. They're not going to come back and be like, "Oh yeah, I've been a Washington fan since so."
Oh dog! Oh
yeah, I remember.
Let me go ahead and stop you real quick.
Fan, huh?
I'm gonna stop you right now. That's gonna happen because believe me, when Atlanta went to Super Bowl in 2016, it's folks that was all around here. I'm like, I've never seen this person wear red and black a day in my life, and they're wearing a Falcon jersey. Man, come on, get out of here. So
I want to be there. I want to be. I'm still waiting for the day that we can actually, like, if we can get to the NFC Championship, if we can get past the first round of playoffs, I'll be happy. Because that just knows that, we can actually compete in this league going forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, just, barely making it 7-9 against the playoffs. Granted, we was in a bad division last year, but just doing that alone, it just showed us that, look, we're almost there. Especially in Ron Rivera's first year, we're almost there. We just need this piece, this piece, this piece. Not even that many pieces, because our defense is stout. We just got to get together as far as coaching wise. But on offense, the only thing that we really need is a solidified quarterback. Taylor Heineke, I don't think Cowboys. Y'all say that
4 games.
Year. Yeah, y'all say that every year, so we'll see when we get down to the divisional games. If y'all stay healthy, then I'll give it to y'all. Dan Quinn, I will say, has been doing good for y'all's defense. He's a good, yeah, I know Nate didn't want to hear that, but Dan Quinn, he has turned y'all defense around. At least y'all playing like y'all actual defense, not a Pee-wee league. So, yeah, that's a good thing for y'all. We just watched the football team open the playbook against the Birds. I agree. Yes, open up the playbook against them. Yes, like Scott Turner is the check down king. Like, that's all we saw last year from Alex Smith is check downs, screens. Like, we couldn't get the ball down the field. This game, I want to see the ball get down the field. I want to see how we can manage playing the deep ball, because the only reason why we can't, I understand, taking it slow as far as like passing it short and then just get yards from the receiver after that. But open the playbook up. It's a passing league now. Like all these other teams are successful, can air the ball out, get the ball, 20, 30 yards down the field. We got to do the same thing.
Okay, Mike got it. Okay, I can see that. I can see it being that kind of game. I personally have y'all. I have y'all winning this game. To be honest with you, I don't know what Atlanta's. I don't know. I don't trust us. I'm just here so I won't be fine.
I don't trust it either. Honestly, I'll say this. And I've been thinking about this like deeply. The way that Ron Rivera is acting, at least towards us being 1-2 right now, he's not acting like the coach that's like, yeah, we have to fight hard, we have to come back, we have to get this win. He's more acting like he's taking each week kind of as like not necessarily lackadaisical, but he's nonchalant about it. So there might be a bigger plan here with us not being on it as we should be. I don't know if he's trying to necessarily tank without telling us that we're tanking for a quarterback. But I don't know. I don't like how we're not in like a we need to attack now mode or we need to win now mode, because that's what our whole regime is right now. It's like we're in win now mode, not tank for another year and try and get a good player. Like we can find players in free agency. There's going to be some contracts that are going to be up around the league that we should be looking at. I honestly thought we should have got Matthew Stafford. We honestly should have went after Teddy Bridgewater. Should have went after Sam Darnold. But we settled for Ryan Fitzpatrick. Like, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh, somebody asked that question from earlier. I don't know. I don't think the Bucs going for it in the playoffs. We know how Brady. You never can tell with playoff Tom, but I can tell you like this: the Rams have the squad to actually stop them. Green Bay last year, Green Bay just blew it. That's the best way for me to put it. Green Bay had them. New Orleans, we knew they were going.
Green Bay's secondary is not as good as I thought it was going to be. Honestly, Jair Alexander, he's still doing good, but opposite the rookie Eric Stokes, he's speed, but that's about it. He can't really cover, at least in my opinion. I hope he's not going to be a Troy Apke, because if that's the case, and they got a long way coming, because Troy Apke, all he is speed, can't cover to save his life. He switched to cornerback just because we needed that help on defense. But yeah, it sucks just having a player that's fast but can't cover. Like, what's the purpose? They just operate to run fast.
Really, Leavers can't stop anybody. Yeah. Thank you, tell Castro that.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. Their defense has had some bright spots. It's just their offense. They have a really good offense. This is not me saying that Dak is top 10, which everybody like kills me for saying that, or bullies me, I should say, for saying that Dak is not, or that Dak is a top 10 quarterback, and I disagree with that. But I just think that the Cowboys they have 3 elite receivers on that team. Albert Wilson, I will say, is an elite receiver. CeeDee Lamb, yes, is an elite receiver. Amari Cooper, yes, is an elite receiver. Despite his injuries and health issues, he is an elite receiver when healthy. Michael Gallup is a solid receiver. So, yes, they have a solid receiving core. They do have Yeah, I agree with you, John. They do have 2 really good running backs back there. They do have Zeke and they do have Tony Pollard. So, in their offensive line, we all know is pretty stout. You know what I'm saying? So, Dak is just in the right position to do good, and all the players around him are making him look like he's a top 10 quarterback. But if you would have put him on the Jags, you put him on the Texans, most likely it would be the same result. They would probably have the same record they do right now, honestly. Because
I agree with that. Luke, what's going on, Luke? He said, "I told you I'd be back." Yeah, you did. You told me last week you'll be back. I do agree with you on that as well, because I feel like, to me, the Cowboys may have to take that 2016 Falcon route, outscore everybody, because we didn't have a defense in 16. They didn't come on to the playoffs, so that's going to have to probably be their route if they're going to go anywhere this season, as far as the Cowboys. But it's early. I'm not knocking you Cowboy fans that y'all excited about starting 2-1. Well, 2-1. I actually have y'all beating the Panthers today. I don't think the Panthers have played anybody. No disrespect to the Panthers. I just got to see you play a formidable opponent before I can take you serious. I don't
honestly, I think the Panthers are going to be. I mean, for both teams, this game is going to be a test for both teams to see who's the real deal, who's not. Whoever wins today, they will definitely be talking about them being the real deal going forward. If the Panthers can stay undefeated and go 4-0, then yes, they're the real deal. I'm not saying that the Cowboys are not the real deal, but more so that the Panthers are not just a fluke 3-0 team like the Broncos. Excuse any Broncos fans in the chat right now.
Oh, yes, it is. If Dak is not top 10, it's Matt Ryan never. He's not even.
No.
He may not even be top. I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. Matt Ryan is not even probably top 20 right now. I'm gonna go, and I hate to say that, but right now, we're just Matt is in first year. Matt, number one, every time we get a new coordinator, Matt has his worst season as a quarterback. Every time we had that, when we got Kyle Shanahan from Washington, I wanted to fight Matt Ryan that season because Matt threw some of the dumbest interceptions that year. So I don't think Matt Ryan's not a top 10 quarterback this year. He's not. He used to be borderline top 10, but I think he's regressed, and I don't think he's the same in regards to anything. Let's see. Luke Shepard said, what do y'all think about Tua coming to Atlanta, going anywhere? I don't see him coming to Atlanta, but I don't know. He got to stay healthy. That's his biggest problem out there in Miami. He's not healthy right now.
Yeah, I saw talks of Washington trying to go after him, but we haven't had our best luck, especially like I said with mobile quarterbacks. We haven't really had our best luck. I would love to see Tua come out here if he can stay healthy. You know, he's a good quarterback if he's healthy. He finished the season last year. The Dolphins, almost got them to the playoffs. Although it was mostly kind of both the combination of Fitzpatrick and Tua, but Tua, kind of finished the season strong. His brother, he's doing good at Maryland right now. They're off to a hot start. So if both of them come into the league, do the same production both times, I feel like Tua, wherever he goes, he'll be a good quarterback for wherever he plays. Those two.
I'm about to go. All right, y'all. We're gonna show y'all some of the fantasy matchups. I'm about to pull up this thing real quick. Hold on 1 second. All right. Show y'all.
No, I was just saying, like, as far as I had some fantasy matchups to watch for.
Gotcha. It's perfect timing too. Just to show y'all, I'm gonna go make this full screen real quick for you guys. As far as ESPN, they're projecting Calvin Ridley to hit 10 fantasy points, which is favorable for him. They got Mike Davis getting about 10, Kyle Pitts with about 5. Not a lot of fantasy points.
Yeah, don't believe that. Don't believe that at all, please. Unless is not playing like that, please do not believe that 5 points because he will be more.
Let's see. Cordero Patterson got him getting 8 fantasy points. Of course, Russell Gage is out. You got Matt Ryan averaging about 279 and 2 touchdowns in a pick today. So this kind of the top couple of guys. I'm going to switch it over real quick to Washington. So we can
probably some better numbers.
Say it again.
Probably some better looking numbers.
It would have to be because from those projections, they definitely don't have us winning. So it'd be
like I said, don't Kyle Pitts. People who have Kyle Pitts don't believe that 5-point stat because I promise you he'll have a better outing.
They got Gibson with 15 fantasy points. They got McLaurin with 15.08. Logan Thomas with 8.97. I think it's going to be higher than that. J.D. McKissick with 8.360. That's going to be higher. Curtis Saint with 9.91. Did I pass Heineke?
No, he's probably at the bottom.
Okay, here he is. They got him having like 20 for 31, 227, 2 touchdowns in a pick, 17 fantasy points. I think he's going to have higher than that myself. But I'm going to let Devon touch on his fantasy guys for Washington.
Well, this is more for both teams. I said this is matchups to watch for. I said start Matt Ryan because especially how our defense is playing, if we can't get pressure on the ball, he's going to tear us up like he's done in years past. We play too soft of the coverage. Our offense, our defense, as far as cornerbacks, we can't cover for a long time. Like we leave the middle of the field. I know they're going to attack the middle of the field today. Middle of the field, probably the sidelines, just because those are our weak points. So we can't cover in those areas. Somehow, some way, they're always open, especially on them long third down plays. Like if it's past 3rd and 10, like 3rd and 15, they're going to attack the middle of the field because somehow, some way, we always leave that wide open. Like I don't understand it. That's how we lost to the Chargers. That's how we lost to the Bills. Like we just left the middle of the field. Well, the Bills is already a nice team, but we just play too soft of a coverage, and we can't do that against y'all because y'all going to tear us up. As far as running backs, I say start Antonio Gibson and Cordarrelle Patterson, either or. If Antonio Gibson does play today, which I know y'all saw, it said he was questionable only because he has soreness in his leg. So if he doesn't play today, expect J.D. McKissick and Jarrett Patterson to get the touches today. I feel like McKissick, he can handle himself as far as running the ball and catching the ball at the backfield if Antonio Gibson isn't able to play. But if Gibson is able to play, I do see his time being limited. Cordarrelle Patterson, he's had a good outing his first 3 weeks. Him and Mike Davis, that tandem is a nice it's a nice running tandem y'all have back there. As far as wide receivers, start Terry McLaurin and Calvin Ridley. Like I said, we haven't really had the best as far as covering elite receivers, and I'll put Calvin Ridley up there as an elite receiver. Even though you said that he's afraid of contact, I still think he can do some damage. I will say he'll probably get a touchdown today. I'll give him a touchdown today. Kyle Pitts, definitely start Kyle Pitts. I know it says 5 points, but I just have a strong feeling that he's gonna have a solid outing against our linebackers today. Especially if he's lined up against John Bostic, that's an automatic first down every play. As far as benching or as far as starting defense, don't start either one of our defenses because, as far as for Washington, one's going to be a close game. Two, I don't see our defense creating that many turnovers, if any, and I don't see the Falcons creating many turnovers, if any, as well. As far as benching, I wouldn't start Heineke today. Seeing how he played last week, it's kind of risky. This is like a really risky week to play him in or play him now, just because that game still might be in his head, and he's coming back home. I'm pretty sure he has family out there watching him. Like I don't see him. He might be under pressure again, and I don't want him to fold for y'all. Curtis Samuel, J.D. McKissick, Mike Davis. I said all sit only because Curtis Samuel he might be in the game, but he'll have limited reps. J.D. McKissick as well. I really want to see him catching the ball for screens out the backfield. Mike Davis, we have a solid. He's more of y'all's power back, if I'm not mistaken. So in our interior line, as far as run stopping, our run defense is pretty good. As far as getting off the line, so I wouldn't say start them today. Logan Thomas, I wouldn't start him. He hasn't really been active in our offense as of recent, but if we can't get him open in space today, then yeah, I would start him. But he's that risky option as well. And like I said, bench both defenses. Overall, it's just going to be an evenly matched game. Like I said, I'm going to keep saying it. It's just going to come down to who wants it more.
All right. Okay. Last but not least, what is your game prediction?
My game prediction, I have two. If we win, I say we win within 7. I'll say 24-13. Or 24-13, 24 or 21-13. If we lose, I say it's probably going to come down to a field goal if we lose. It honestly all depends on who gets the ball first, whoever scores first. That's another thing. Washington, if you're listening, anybody that might be listening, Heineke, Chase Young, if anybody's on the stream right now, please do not give up 3rd and long conversions. Please, I'm begging you. That has been our weak point for this defense for the past 3 weeks, is giving up 3rd and long, 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 15s, 3rd and 20s. how. We should be able to get to the quarterback. Like on 3rd and 15, honestly, send an all-out blitz. Like you put pressure on a non-mobile quarterback, all he has to do is throw the ball away. He can't do nothing else or take the sack because he's not going to come out the pocket like the other QBs would. Like if it was Felipe Franks back there, then yeah, maybe he'll kick the ball out the pocket. But Matt Ryan's not going to do that. So attack the football, attack the ball, attack Matt Ryan, attack the running backs, cover the receivers, play man. I want to see more man coverage today. I want to see how we can do against these receivers in man coverage versus playing the zone. Because obviously, zone isn't working for us. So we need something's different got to change, especially since we're going up against an off and on Saints team going into next week. We need to do something this week. Because if we lose another game and look at the rest of our schedule, like, hold on, let me just pull up the rest of the schedule real quick just to show you who we have in the next. So the next
Mike said
home game. We got.
Oh, he go. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Like Nate. Oh yeah, like Nate, he's doing his solo show. I'll be doing my own solo show as well. And then during the week we'll also come together and do our collab shows. But
yes, sir. We've been in conversations about this everybody's side though.
Yeah. So it's gonna be Sports Talk with DB coming soon. I just haven't really gotten the groove of starting it up yet, but once I get started, it's not stopping. It's gonna be weekly podcast for you guys. So hopefully we can bring I can bring more football team talk to you guys, even though mostly y'all are Falcons fans, but just football knowledge in general. We'll kind of do like an inside the NFL kind of talk going forward as far as like a collab show before we talk about our own teams. But as far as like our upcoming schedule, like we got the Saints and the Chiefs back to back coming in the next after this week. So if we don't win this game, it's going to be a rough 2 weeks, and then we got the Buccaneers in week 10, Seahawks in week 12, and then our last 4 or 5 games are divisional. In between those games, we have the Panthers and I believe the Packers we have in between those games. So it's all those teams that I just listed are potential playoff teams, despite the Saints. And they in there, they like a wild card team, but the rest of those teams, all of them are playoff teams going forward. So we definitely need this game to win.
Yes, sir. I get where you come from. We got the Jets. We got the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Panthers. So today could be a benefit. Could be a benefit, could be a disadvantage for the Falcons, because the Falcons could finish 3-2 at the bye, or finish. If they finish 2-3, I'm okay, because I personally had us finishing 2-3 to start this. I think I predicted that when we did our schedule predictions. I think I had us starting 2-3, and then to go into the bye week, which I'm okay with. But if the Falcons are 1-4 at the bye week, during the bye week, go ahead and ship them out of here. I don't have time for it. Ship them out of here. But the Falcons do have the Jets and Dolphins come up before they get Carolina in a couple weeks down the road. So to me, if the Falcons are going to win, they need to try to win. Now, I'm going to give my prediction. I didn't give mine yet. My gut is telling me Washington 24, Atlanta 17. But if I was to sit here and say if the Falcons were to win, I would agree with Devon. I think it'd be like a 24-21 game for the Falcons if they win the game. But my personal opinion is I think the Falcons will give Washington a game, but I just don't know if that offensive line can hold up against that pass rush. Even though I know they've struggled, I just think this could be a day for them to have a big day. I know that they've been called out in the media. As everyone was used to having that great defensive line last year.
It's been terrible. We've been called the worst of the worst. We've been called flukes. Like I'm tired of hearing it. So we got to do something. And people don't realize that the lines that we had to go up against are not trash lines. Like they're not bad offensive lines. Like we went up against the Chargers offensive line first game of the season. They got one of the best offensive lines in the league, in my opinion. Same with the Bills. They got one of the best offensive lines in the league. So, like, or despite their holding penalties and stuff against the Steelers, which the Steelers do have a talented pass rush, but everybody's starting to come into their own. Like I said, it's 17 games this season. We're only in week 4. We're already winning. Both teams are already winning, so I wouldn't necessarily call for a season just yet. I would necessarily say wait till week 7, week 8 before we actually say, because like for us, we always start off slow. Then the latter half of the season we come back strong. So anything can happen. Like the Chiefs are 1-2 right now. They can turn around and win the next 11 straight, or next. It's week 4, so yeah, they can come around and win the next 12, 13 straight. So like I said, anything can happen.
Okay. Let's see. Luke Shepard.
Yeah, my fault, yeah. 35.
I like the confidence.
Hey. Honestly, I would not put it past y'all for that to be the score.
I like the confidence.
I wouldn't hate that to be the score, but I honestly we first off, we can't let y'all score first. That's been a big problem for us as well. We can't because our opening drives, I think every single game we've had a lot of opening drive for a touchdown so far. Even though it's only been 3 games, it's still bad. Like we can't be the team last year that waits until the second half to come alive. Like I'm tired of saying that we have to attack early, and we have to outscore our opponents early. If we do that, we have a better chance at winning. Like let our offense go to work and let our defense, just protect us. But we can't let our defense do most of the damage because honestly, they're not playing up to their standards that they were supposed to be playing. So offense has to come out, strikes, get in the end zone. Defense come out and hold them. I know you're probably thinking the same thing for your Falcons, Nate. So
yes, sir. We kind of in the same position. But everyone, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Again, I'm so glad to have Devon back on here with me. We're going to be back on for the post game. Either I can tell you like this. One of us is going to be looking like, oh, we won. The other one's going to be like, okay, go ahead and blow this mess up. So
one of us is going to have a jersey on. The other one's probably not going to have a jersey on. We'll see.
Yes, sir. So we'll be back on this evening, everyone, because I'll probably come on and talk about the game, talk about it from the Falcon perspective, but we will have a combined show this evening as well. So stay tuned.
I have to work in between.
Yeah,
in the latter half of the game. So we'll be coming on most likely. If I correct me if I'm wrong, we'll be on before the Sunday night game. So we'll catch y'all.
That's a good time. That's a good time right there. So yeah, everybody, thank you for tuning in. We will see y'all this evening. You better be back.
Yes, sir. I love the energy. I love y'all's comments and stuff. Thank you, John, for the support. Really appreciate it. Anybody else is watching, family, friends, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. We love it. So.
All right, everyone. We will see y'all later on.